Alrighty. Just like that, we are set. Awesome. Sweetness, doo-doo. Alrighty. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Welcome on in, everyone, to our very first OBS class live stream. I'm actually really excited about this one. This is like a really big deal for me because I really do enjoy like teaching OBS and everything. And I thought it'd be cool if we could all learn together, you know, some things. Because I don't know everything about OBS, nor will I claim to. But it is one thing that I definitely enjoy. It's one of those things where, like, you know, I don't know, like, everyone's got a passion, everyone's got a hobby, and like mine is messing around trying to figure out like what works and what doesn't. Like earlier today I did a live stream on Twitch, which y'all can find in the link in the description down below. I was streaming, I was doing a coffee stream, and one of the plugins that I downloaded like kind of basically crashed with another code, and I had to like look at the log files and everything, and it was a little bit strange, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I've actually had to go to the gurus of OBS to be like, hey, like, I don't know why this isn't working, you know. I've tried uninstalling, reinstalling, I've tried it all, so I'm not gonna mess with that today. Today we're just gonna focus on the basics and advanced, or anything that like people want to know or learn, or I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit of everything. So if anyone has any questions, or you got anything that you would like to I don't know, anything you want to learn about OBS. It could be something as simple as adding a source. I don't know. Like, I know like there's other YouTube channels and everything, but like I thought it'd be cool because this is my passion, and I know that I need the knowledge, like more knowledge to improve on my skills of what I already know from OBS, because, you know, like it's ever so changing, right? It's constantly like, you know, with updates and everything like they've implemented, especially like recently with OBS 29.1.1. like there's been a lot of changes over the years, like a lot, you know, and I think that's what makes OBS better. Like, I'm not gonna do a Streamlabs one because someone already asked me, are you gonna do like an OBS about no, I'm not gonna do Streamlabs. Streamlabs is another version of, it is another open broadcasting software that you can use. I don't like it because I think it holds back content creation overall and what potentials that you have. And that's like some of the things that I want to explore in like this class, you know? Yeah, boo slabs. I mean, you could say it. It doesn't bother me. Hello, sweetie. Great to see you. Hey, Maddie. Love your freaking face. But yeah, I thought it'd be cool, you know. Like, I think like my live streams on my YouTube channel, I would like to do OBS classes and like try to do them maybe like once a week for a few hours. I think that'd be like really neat. Actually have a sustainable schedule, because I enjoy it, you know. I want to. What are you saying wow for? What do you mean? What happened? Nani? I feel like Streamlabs is for beginner streamers since it's really simple. Well, that's the other thing, sweetie. Like, you have Streamlabs, or slobs, as I like to call it. Then you have OBS. There are other softwares that a lot of people don't talk about. Those are just like the main two that people utilize. I've seen others, but I don't recommend them because, you know, I'm not going to recommend something that I have used, you know, or I haven't used. You know, that's the biggest thing. I'm not gonna like tell y'all things that I haven't personally done myself. I would never do that. Okay, listen, I am simple. Wait, what do you mean? Oh my gosh, Maddie. You're such a memer. But no, recently I've been looking at the YouTube channel and I'm excited about being a YouTube partner, but like ever since I hit that milestone on the channel, I feel like I haven't uploaded as much content as I wanted to. I felt like I really haven't, you know, and it has been because of traveling and IRL and everything else, but regardless, you know, I still want to do it. And I have the energy to do so. I literally just got done taking a shower, and I was talking to one of my friends, the Reluctant Hermit, and I was like, man, like, you know, like, I want to find something that might work on the channel. And a lot of the community members was asking me, they're like, hey, there are other people that teach OBS, but we understand the way you put it in another perspective. And that gave me confidence enough to do this, because honestly, it feels like my self-confidence has like diminished some, but it's not because of anything that's like happened or whatever. It's mainly because I just haven't been doing the things on a regular basis, right? If you stop riding the bicycle and, you know, and then you like try to get back on it, it's like riding a bike, is what most people say. Well, with streaming and like creating content, I feel like I've been away and like just diving back into things. It's kind of like it's just like really difficult to like, you know, like boom, like it's all about consistency and everything else. Basketball Girl, welcome on in, by the way. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, my brother was telling me to use XSplit. That's the one. No, XSplit is they're not consistent with their updates, and they have they're notoriously known to have problems. That's what I've heard. I enjoy learning about OBS. I may switch one day. I mean, like, hey, if you want to stick to Streamlabs, that's fine. But like, I've just been telling people that I am strictly sticking to OBS. Like, when it comes to Streamlabs, I'm sure there's like other people out there, but I can't. I can't give a tutorial on that or a class about it. So if anybody has any questions in chat, I will be taking any questions whatsoever. I actually have installed right now. I'm actually gonna show you. Installed right now, I have another OBS. This is a clean install. There's actually nothing on here. It's obviously going to pick up my microphone because the settings are set to default, and the way I have my system specs set up, it's automatically going to pick up my mic. So you're going to see like my bar moving, but I have another OBS for the YouTube stream. It's like OBS Inception right now. So this has no plugins. Like, this OBS doesn't have plugins. It has no filters, has no scenes. I haven't touched the settings. All of it is set to default. Like, you just downloaded it for the first time. I enjoy learning new things. Well, that's my hope, is that this class will give y'all like something. And you know, anybody that stops into this YouTube live stream, maybe they stop in and they give me maybe they'll tell me something. The reason why I wanted to do this and make it unique, the unique aspect is that I'm not the only one learning or teaching in a sort of sense. We're all learning together, right? Because I might press a few buttons and be like, oh, hey, this would be a really cool idea if like I did something like this, or you did something like this. Maybe it gives you an inspirational idea to do something on your channel, you know? Or maybe someone comes in and they tell me something about OBS that I had no idea you could do, right? Because in a sense, we're all, I mean, it's actually true. We're all on this journey together as content creators, no matter how big, no matter how small. I don't go off of that scale. We're all on the journey. It's just that everybody's journey goes at a different pace. And with everything that goes on IRL, you know what I mean? So if anyone has any questions, like adding scenes, video capture, like how do I add a camera? I have 2 other cameras that I'll be using for today's tutorial as well. How do I make my, how do I do a transition? How do I add a custom transition? You know, if anyone has any questions in chat, I will happily take them. And we'll just be going back and forth. That's my plan for today's class, is like go over some basic things, and then like I might even, just because like I feel like adding it in, I might throw in a software that I use personally that makes my streams like go a lot smoother. So it, like I said, it's an all-arounder. It really is, you know. I want this to be like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm gonna change the fade because that is just too gosh dang long. Or if you want to learn how to do transitions like from this to like this. Okay, well, it didn't do it. Hold on. Like this one? Is this it? There you go, like burst. You know, like these are things that automatically come with OBS. You know, switching scenes like that is something that literally is like within the new, like this is the stuff I didn't have back in 2019 when I first started. Hey Super, thank you for stopping on in, man. I really do appreciate it. Love your face, brother. Hey Rockstar Canadian brother. Look, Canada's real. We all know it to be true. There's a lot I could do on OBS which restricts what I do now. I just want to teleport a tech to come set it all up. I don't have to, so I don't have to. Well, that's the thing, Maddie, is that there are some people like, and I totally get it. You know, like all jokes aside, I totally get it. There's people that when it comes to streaming and everything else, no, you're fine. But there are streamers that have tech people that literally, like if anything goes wrong with their OBS, they get into a Discord call and they use a program like TeamViewer and which allows the other person on the other end to have full control of their PC to add things that they want to add, right? You know, and my idea for this class, because I'm very passionate about creating content and I want everybody to be able to have that opportunity, right? I don't want to keep all this knowledge to myself. You know, I want to share it with everyone. And so like, you know, y'all, like I want to see what other people do with the knowledge that I do. So like if I do something in my stream, you're like, dude, I don't want to copy your content, but like I want to do that. That looks cool. How do I do XYZ? Then I can show it. I can download, I can actually download the plugins and like show you like, oh, how do you download an OBS plugin? How do I make this fancy dancy transition? How do I get better mic quality? What can I use? And it's all going to be in OBS. I'm not going to do any other programs. We're going to stick to the basics. And hopefully like I could do this every Thursday. Obviously, I'm going to be traveling on the Madhouse Man's Voyage soon, but I think it'd be cool like to do like a 2-hour to 3-hour class, however long it goes. But yeah, that's the idea. Stealthbo, welcome on in. Sierra Sassy, everybody, thank you for stopping by. It really means a lot. Wait, a YouTube stream and morning coffee stream? Yeah, double dose. You get double dose of MVK. You get everything. Love to see it. I had to have Apex do that to fix my Dixper. So like I said, like with Dixper, right? So if I could use Super, I'm gonna use it as an example. Okay, I hope that's okay. It's nothing bad. It's good. So there's a guy named Super Murgatroyd. If you're watching the VOD, he is he's also an online content creator on Twitch platform. Literally, he uses Dixper, right? So the thing about Dixper, it's an outside software from OBS. The thing about it though is that when it doesn't work, that's not his fault, right? And it's not OBS's fault either. It's actually Dixper itself. It's the update. So if OBS has an update, right? And let's say that Dixper is like one update behind that OBS, then Dixper's not going to work, you know? Like there's so many variables that go in between it. Like it can be OBS or it could be that outside program. When you start adding on things like outside programs to OBS, things get very complicated and yucky, because you don't know where that source problem is coming from. Just like when I implemented a plugin, I know how to do the steps. I did everything right, but still it crashed my stream earlier today. And that's, you know, and like I said, I'm still figuring it out. It could be coding. It could be a JavaScript. It could be all these different things. I'm making ravioli for little man. Oh, nice. That sounds lovely. I can't eat ravioli anymore. Had too much of it as a kid. So let's go ahead and let's burst. Let's burst into OBS. So like right over here, you have your scenes, you have sources, you have audio mixer, which the audio mixer is any audio, video games. It could be coming from your camera if you want to use that, your microphone, whatever you have set up. Anything that's audio, it could be music. You can set up different things for that. That's all going to go through audio mixer. Scene transitions, that's you just going from like, I'll use Twitch as an example. So you're starting soon to just chatting, to gaming, to monitor, and whatever other crazy scenes you want to add, right? So like that's what scene transition would do, you know? That's like this, like, oh wow. That's a scene transition, right? Okay, the burst is taking all my attention and I want to do it all the time. So like, okay, so like, how about this? Let's start with transitions and then work our way around OBS, right? So literally all I have to do is go over to scene transition, click on these, click on add, sorry. And then we're going to go over to Luma wipe. Okay. And then we're going to name this, I don't know. We'll name it, burst, because we want to add a burst effect. So this is with OBS, no plugins whatsoever, right? You click on image. These are all implemented with the latest and greatest as of right now, OBS 29.1.1, that version from this video. These are all transitions that you can choose. So you could have a clock one. Y'all remember like the little clock thing that goes around? You know, you could change like how fast it goes, the softness of it and everything else. You can invert it to go the other way. And we can change that duration at the bottom as well. So like, let's say if Maddie wanted burst, so burst, right? Boom, zoops out. It's going really quick. The other thing you need to realize is duration. It says milliseconds. So 3000 milliseconds is 3 seconds, right? So usually when it comes to transitions, I like to put it at like either 1500 being the lowest, or cap it at like 2000 to 25, just depending on what you want. So let's just be in the middle. Let's say 2000 milliseconds, right? Let's create, let me add a camera. All right. So if I want to add a camera, I go over here to sources. I click on video capture device. We're going to call this my Elgato face cam. Okay. So I'm on my Elgato face cam. I'm going to change it. 1280 by 720. Okay. Going to keep the match output and everything else. I go by custom because, and the only reason I do 720 is because for some reason with Elgato, if you have a DSLR and you have multiple camera setups, which I did a video, you can find that on my YouTube channel, like here on the channel. I did a video on setting up multiple cameras, and like the video, like it didn't do that well. It's fine. It's on the channel. It's there. Like if anyone wants to go see it, and that's the whole purpose of YouTube, right? So all this, I can leave it default because I can change all these settings with Elgato. So I want to click OK, right? So let's say, gonna stretch this out. Let's say this is my just chatting, right? So I go over here. If I want to change the name of any scene, I right click on it, rename, just chatting. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna do something. We're gonna switch it, right? So like, let's say I want to make another scene. So we'll call this one small camera. All right. Now you saw the transition. It's already set, right? But now that I've already set up one camera device, all I gotta do is click on video capture and I can actually add existing. So whatever I add into OBS, if I want to use the same one, I can just click on Elgato face cam, boom. It's there now, right? So this one's small camera, okay? So if I transition between them, it's gonna do the burst and it takes about 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. My stinger is 2000 or 3000. Yeah, you want the clock? So like, all right, so like, let's go back in here, right? Let's say I want to rename this. So now we want a clock. And all I did was click on the 3 dots and I can rename this transition to whatever I want, right? But if I'm going to do that, I have to click on the properties. You got to make sure that I change it. So let's make it the clock, okay? And the other thing I can do is change the softness. Right now it's at 3. Let's say if I made this max, like let's say, to give an example, 0.50. Softness is like a transparent kind of look. You see how it has like that fade look? It looks really clean, actually. That's actually really clean. Look at that. And it fades it. It's a very clean like transition. Look at that. And it fades it. Like that's cool. This is the stuff that I geek about because there's so many different things to make what you're doing unique, utilizing the same like stinger, because I know that there's people out there using the clock stinger, but you could change the softness of it and that changes the game entirely. Like it's that cool, you know? They even have one on here. Let's stick with transitions, right? They have one on here that I like. So on my main channel, you'll notice when y'all do screenshots and things like that, right? You'll notice that when it hides the when it shows up, it like pops on, but then when it goes away, when it hides that source, it kind of has like this watercolor effect. This is all I used. You want to, okay, we could do nested scenes as well, but does everybody understand? I want to make sure that everyone understands before I move on. Look at that watercolor. So cool. I love it. Such an interesting effect, man. There's so many cool things. What happened, Maddie? You watched it? I appreciate it. I realize it's supposed to be informative, but you make the information interesting. That's because I get excited, because I'm like, it's so cool because you can do so many things. Like, you can literally, like, what's the one on here? Like, they have, y'all remember the barn door effect from films? You could do it, like, horizontal, or you could do, like, vertical. You know, like, you could literally just do the barn. I love the barn door effect. I think it looks very clean. It's very precise, you know? So, like, look, barn door, vertical. And it's like you're in a movie. Watch. Look at that. It's so clean. Ah. You know, and you can set that just to a scene. So let's say right now it's set to the barn door vertical. Let's say if I right click on my just chatting and I click on transition override and I make it fade. Okay. So if I go to small camera, it's going to do the barn door, but now when I go to just chatting, it's going to fade. How cool is that? Yeah. Pretty neat, isn't it? And you can change the milliseconds right here underneath, and you can make it the exact same. So I can make it 2000, right? And you can set that to specific scenes. So in this, and like, this is how big this is. Boo, and welcome on in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And everyone watching the stream, thank you. But yeah, like, you can make every scene a different transition, which I've never seen, by the way. I've never seen on the platform. I think that would be kind of cool. Like, if you had like a theater, like, imagine a theater, chat. Like, imagine a theater, like, and you like could have like the curtains, and it's just, the opportunities are endless with creativity, what you could do with just a simple transition and the small things. And that's what I want to implement when it comes to these classes. And like I said, I think the schedule I'm going to make for myself indefinitely is probably like on Thursdays, and I'll probably post it on my YouTube channel, and I'll probably put an announcement on my Discord. I think the best times for me on a Thursday is probably going to be like, do like 2 to 4. I think like 2-hour classes. I think that'd be great. So yeah, from 2 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, I think that's like what I'm going to aim for, because that way I can still do my mod meetings and all the other things that I'm obligated to do. But I'm glad y'all are enjoying this. So Little Man is pouting because he wants you and Maddie to come back. I love your face. It's okay. I mean, I'm there in your heart of hearts. Oh, that's so sweet. But yeah, so that's transitions. Does anybody have any questions about transitions? Like, or if I go too quickly in these like classes, just let me know. Just let me know if I go too quickly, or, you know, something happens, right? Because I can definitely like go back and forth. It's all depending on like what you want, you know? This is about y'all. Actually, I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna give it a, I'm gonna do the slide transition. What's this one? Does this one just slide it? Actually, I like that for the class. I'm gonna use that. But yeah, that's basically transitions in a nutshell. So like, you know, and if you want to add custom ones, you can go to other sources. Like there's Nerd or Die. That's a really big one. It's an entire website where, you know, you can, I'll show you. It's so much easier if I just show you. So if I click on add, it's going to say Stinger right here. So a Stinger transition, let me be very clear about this. A stinger transition is like the axes that I use on my streams. So this is what a stinger transition looks like. It's an animation that will go into the next scene, but you have to time it right? And I'll show you in just a second what I'm talking about, but that right there is that's a stinger effect, where it has the animation where it's going from scene A to scene B. And that's something important that we do need to discuss, because I've had people that have asked me, well, what is A and B? This is scene A. So let's say scene A is the one scene we're on right now. And when you transition, that's scene B. That's you going to another scene in OBS, right? With stinger transition, you have to time it right with the duration. Otherwise, it's gonna look like garbage. So let's call this one axes. So I'll use my axes as an example. So when you get the stinger file from wherever, you can make your own. Maybe we can have a class about making your own stingers. I have dabbled in it. I'm not the greatest, but you would go to browse files, and I believe I have it in my videos. Let me actually take this off real quick. Let me see if I can find this for y'all. I think I called it Celtic transition. Believe that's what I named it. Let me see. Where did I put that thing? Where did you go, my friend? Oh, there it is. Okay. So click on that. Yes. I want to do that. This has nothing to do. This is just privacy. That's all it is. Because I have other projects I'm working on right now, and I'm not trying to give out too many spoilers. So once you click on like the file, so this one's called Celtic. Usually it'll look like this. It'll have quick start files and systems. Click on files, and it'll have animated stream like intermissions. It'll have overlays. And if you look around, like when you buy this, like from wherever you're gonna buy it, like you could use like I said, Nerd or Die. You can use anything that I've said, but this one says animated transition. Let's use the Celtic transition swords as an example, right? So it's gonna say right here, transition point. We can set it as by time or by frame. Personally, I like doing transition point by time, right? Because it's a lot easier. You'll also see use hardware decoding when available. Basically, that's you telling OBS that this needs to be a priority, because using animations on your PC might raise your CPU usage. That's why I tell people, like, you know, stick to OBS ones. If you're gonna use stinger transitions, make sure you have the available RAM, CPU, and what was the other one? Brain, and GPU. Because your GPU, 90% of people on OBS use GPU. I'm enjoying it. I was going to say show us. Yeah, absolutely. Like my clock I use? Exactly. So this transition point is set to 0. So if I click preview, you see how it did that? You see the scene. We don't want it to do that. We have to set the transition point to be where we don't see the other scene. So I'm going to type in 2000. You see how you don't see it now? That's why I tell people. So like, let me set it to 0 for tutorial purposes. Okay. Let me set this to 0. Watch what happens. I want to click audio monitoring. I'm going to keep that off. There are some transitions that come with audio. Mine does not. If yours does, you would set it to monitor only. All right, you don't want monitor and output. You're gonna get a double feedback on audio. You want to set it to monitor only, so that way you're only getting one feedback. So if I click on it, it would actually set up another audio mixer once I press OK and everything, and then I can adjust the volume and all that nonsense. You can also type in, like, you can also change like the audio if it like fades in, or if it crossfades it. DJ Blades, welcome on in. How we feeling? How we doing? Thank you so much for stopping on in to OBS Class 101. But yeah, for the Elgato face cam, I'm just gonna mute this because there's no audio I need coming from my face cam. 90% of the time, unless you don't have a microphone, which you should, invest into a microphone if you're gonna be like creating content, okay? If you're going to use your webcam, it's not going to sound good. Audio is a very important thing. Very. If you purchase a Stinger, they have the amount of time to put in 9 times out of 10 in the information that it comes with. But like I said, I haven't, and you know what? I'm glad they do now, Sierra, but I'm saying just in case they don't, because back in 2019, when I bought that transition pack, they didn't have it in the information. So I had to time it myself. So we're going to call this, instead of axes, I'm going to actually rename this to swords. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch. This is what happens when your Stinger is at 0. You see how like it changed scenes? You see that? Well, I put an override in on this. Let me take that off. But you see how it's changing the scene? Like you see the scene before the transition? We don't want that. So like the one thing I tell people is 90% of transitions, not all of them. It depends on how long the transition is. This transition is like 2 to 3 seconds. So I'm going to set this to 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds, right? So now when I transition, now it's a new scene. There you go. Makes sense? I hope it does. Get some claps in there. Makes sense, right? So that right there is transitions. You have Stinger transitions, and we went over how you could do not just Stinger transitions, but like, let me actually get rid of this one. Let's go ahead and go over, there's swipe. So swiping, you know, swiping no swiper. You know, you can make it swipe left, right, up, down. I'll make it slide up, right? It's just a simple, that's the transition. Audio is 90% of your stream. It really is. It like, that is like a peak point. Like your audio, like video and visuals are nice. We're talking about visuals today. I can throw in some audio points if y'all want. Let me know in chat. And also, if you're enjoying the video, it would really mean a lot to me if you slap that like button and also subscribe to the channel, because like I said, I am going to try doing a regular OBS class. This is only episode 1. And every episode is going to cover something different. And the later we get on in the episodes, the more we're actually going to dive into the advanced version of OBS, including plugins, settings, general settings that you can have. And by all means, I am not going to say that this YouTube video, there's no perfect OBS setup. Stop. My fellow creators on this platform, I respect you and your knowledge, but everybody has a different setup. Everybody's PC is different. If there's anything that gets me more riled up is when people go in and they're like, okay, these settings for OBS, if you put them in, that's it, you're set. Your internet's different, your PC's different, your setup entirely is going to be different than everyone on this planet, unless you absolutely copied everything from your favorite content creator. And even then, when you press that go live button, your bitrate and everything is not going to be the same. So I promise you, this is all going to be 1000% truth. And everything I show you in this video is things that I have done. So yeah. Anyways, let's do the slide transition. Whoop! So yeah, that's transitions in a nutshell, right? You know, and like I said, I could show you like all of them. That was swipe. There's slide, there's fade to color. So like this one, we can actually, so somebody put a random color in chat. If you're watching the VOD and just someone's going to choose it from the live stream. Any color, your favorite color, first one gets it. Just any, like red, blue, yellow, black, white, orange, brown. What colors are we feeling? You know, like my favorite color is blue. The hair kind of gives it away. Just saying. Green? Okay, so we're going to do a green, right? So let's go with like a simple green, okay? What this will do is it'll change the green and then fade back. And we can make peak color point. So if I make this 100%, watch this. It goes 100% to green, then like pops, right? 50% takes some time. And if I do 0%, it'll just green and do it that way. So like mess around with the slider, you know, like if you want to do a color, you could be different, you know, you could just change it whatever you want. So like, let's add this in. Watch, this is what we'll do. Green. Wow. So like, let's say you're playing an alien game. Well, let's say that your channel, whatever it is, YouTube, Instagram, the TikTok lives, Twitch, Kick, all the stream platforms, whatever it might be. Imagine you're playing a game and you're like, oh no, the aliens, they're abducting me. Oh.
No, 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 no.
I don't know. Be creative. Have fun with it. That's the only thing that I'm getting at, you know? Like, just have fun with it, man. Like, this is your content, you know? Like, just do whatever you want. Whatever you're feeling. So those are all transitions. Now, Sierra in chat was talking about nested scenes. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible for you, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Paint. Okay, I'm not the best drawer, so we're gonna see how well this goes. Okay, so imagine like we're gonna do this. Okay, so this right here, let's say this is how am I gonna do this? So here's a scene. Okay, this is a scene right here, and I'm going to type in it real quick. So let's go to this. Okay, cam scene. All right, so you have a camera scene, okay? Oh, I gotta change the font. Good Lord. Shaboopy, get smaller. There we go. Beautiful. That's what we wanted. Awesome. Okay. So right here, you have cam scene, right? I don't know how to move things. Just like, bear with me, okay? I don't mess with like paint and stuff, all right? But like, here, I'll put it over here. Cam scene. Okay, cam scene. Beautiful. All right. So this is your camera scene. That scene, the only thing in this scene is going to be all your cameras. Unless you only have one, doesn't matter. All right. So let's make another scene, right? Let's say you're just chatting. Okay. Here is your just chatting. Okay. So I'm going to type in a box. Just chatting. All right. So here's your just chatting. Okay. Now, the idea of a nested scene is usually, right? And I'm going to draw an arrow for this. Let's see how good these arrows are. Why is it facing down? Face the other way. What are you doing? Does it just face down? Oh, I got to choose this. Okay. Look, it's a learning curve for me too. So just chatting, right? You got an arrow, like, to show you. So I'm going to list the sources, okay? Here's the sources in this scene, and here's the sources in this scene. Boxes are discombobulated, don't worry about it. So in camera scene, you have video capture device. Sweet. That's all that's in the scene, okay? Now, usually, what you would do is you would have video capture device. And you would put that in all of your scenes, okay? Your gaming scenes, your monitor scenes, like all the other ones. The idea of scene nesting, the whole premise, literally the whole premise of scene nesting is you're saving resources, number one, in OBS. Number two is we're putting a scene within another scene. So whatever I put in one scene, it'll then go to that one. So the idea is we want cam scene to go to just chatting. Does this make sense to everybody? Right? So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to put my camera scene into just chatting, an entire scene. And this is called, and we're going to be all technical about this, scene nesting. Okay? This is what scene nesting is. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There you go. All right. Now let's go ahead and get back to OBS. So we have our just chatting scene. Okay. And I put my Elgato face cam in here. I'm actually going to delete it. Right. And the small camera, I'm actually going to rename it as well. So let's rename the small camera cam scene. Okay. It's only going to have my camera. I'm going to make it full. Okay. Then I'm going to go to just chatting. We're going to add a source and it's going to be adding a scene. Then we're going to click on cam scene and click OK. Congratulations, you have scene nested. That is what scene nesting is. Now, you can do this with alerts. I do it with my alerts because there's different places that I want the alert box to be at. You can do this with any source that you put within your scene. All right. The other cool thing about scene nesting, one scene for all audio and alerts. Yeah. And then you just put it within another scene. The cool thing about this is if I add a filter. Now, this is where we're gonna have some fun with this. So let's add image mask oh god. Oh god. Memes. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with this. So let me pull up something for y'all. So with a let me explain what this is. So image mask blend, what it's gonna do is we're gonna combine a source, whatever scene, like whatever's in the scene in our sources, and we're gonna put a GIF with it, right? So like, let's say fire, okay? And I want to click stretch image so it doesn't look all distorted and everything. So you'll notice that this is on this scene now, right? But if I go back to my camera scene, it's gone. How cool is that? So whatever filter now that I put on any other scene, that's fine. But if I put a filter on cam scene, no bueno. You have to put it on the scene itself. That's also how I do other things. What I will do to make sure to know what a nested is to put U in front of or NS. Yeah, that's actually smart. So like over here, we can actually rename this and like, you know, we could put it in the front. I could put like a bracket. So I'll put a bracket and I'll put NS. So that way, like, you know that that's a nested scene, right? You could organize your OBS. This is your OBS. You can organize it however you want. This is all about how you want it, right? That's why I said everyone's OBS is going to be different. I've seen other setups. I've seen the Reluctant Hermit setup. I've seen Awkward Monster setup. I've also seen, who else? Brain. I've seen a lot of people's setups, okay? I've helped a lot of people with OBS over the years. I just told them not to give me credit for it because I feel icky about it. I don't know why I do. I just do. But now, like, I'm starting to tell people, like, hey, it's okay if you give me credit, you know? Because, you know, it's like, oh, this guy knows what the things are. And I can then direct them towards the YouTube channel and everything else. Skip, welcome on in. So good to see you. How we feeling? How we doing? But yeah, that's a nested scene. So there you go. That's how you do it. Does anybody have any questions whatsoever in chat? If you do, I will try my best to answer it the best way I possibly can. So far we've gone over transitions today, how to do them. We've gone over how to make a nested scene. We've gone over how to even put a camera into a scene. And, you know, we're starting off with the basics and then moving up. Now, I will say nested scene is a little bit more advanced. I don't know how you see nested scene. Does that, like, did that seem hard to you? Maybe it did. I have no idea. But either way, that's how you do it. I've seen yours and I've seen Super's, exactly, and and also many more. Yeah, like everyone's OBS is gonna be different. Like, do you know what these are called? Let's go over something really basic. These are called docks. Do you want to know why I love OBS versus like any other open broadcasting software? It's because I could do this. I can drag this, and I can put whatever I want. Did you also know that you can put docs on docs? So like, those are my scenes. I could do this. And now you have tabs, and I can just hold this. And now I can switch in between the two. Or maybe you're an audio engineer, right? Maybe you want to see your mixer, right? Maybe you don't want it horizontal. If I right click on it, I can make it vertical. You know, maybe maybe you're playing instruments, right? And you need to watch your audio monitoring. Yeah. Like, these are the things you can do in OBS, you know? It's insane. The sky is literally the limit. There's so many things you can do. And I don't want anyone to feel restricted. That's why I decided to do these classes. That's why I was like, you know, this would be a really fun idea, because not everyone knows how to, you know, do all this. So, yeah, there you go. I love the tabs. It helps out so much. It really does. What do you do if you've got drivers and everything, but OBS doesn't register the capture card? Or is that for a future episode? Now, what kind of capture card are we talking about? We're talking about there's multiple types of video capture cards, right? Obviously, you have a video, like a game capture. There's game capture cards, there's video but it's still under video capture, right? So if I get a Elgato HD 60S Plus, right, that I use for gaming, it's still gonna fall under video capture card because it's capturing a video. That is what you're doing. So anything that captures that. So are we talking about that kind of capture card, or are you just saying in general? Because if that's the case, you're more than likely just need to update the drivers. That's really all you have to do. OBS should be able to recognize if you have any driver issues. AverMedia. So AverMedia Lite capture card for games. Okay, so OBS should, that might be the software in AverMedia. Because I should be able to, I'll show you. I should be able to go here to OBS, click video capture card device, video capture device. I have a Elgato, so Elgato, I'm not gonna pull up my Switch or anything like that, but I'll show you. Elgato video capture. And then I can put in parentheses, games, right? One of mine is going to be, well, it's not on right now, but it'll show up in the Dropbox. Like I said, that to me, that sounds like it's a software issue. That's not OBS. Because it should show up. Like, you make sure that it's plugged in, make sure that the wires are good. 90% of the time in streaming, actually 100% of the time, 100% of the time, when someone has a problem with streaming video games from a video capture device, it's either the software or it's one of your wires is not plugged in, or it's not fully plugged in. I'm not even kidding you. When I have I've had an AverMedia Lite. I upgraded to the Elgato HD 60 Plus, S Plus. I still have issues with it. I do. Like, there's times where the audio clips and everything, I've contacted Elgato about it. I've done everything OBS on my side. That's really what it is. It could be that you have the wrong driver. That could be another one. But no, we could talk about that, Skip. I would like to do a game capture video on another episode, but, you know. Now, one thing I do want to add, I'm trying to keep it basic. So, like, if we go over here and you see all this right here, chat, the thing about this is there are so many different sources, right? Have you ever had a thing where you wanted to capture a specific audio, but you didn't know how to do it? And like all these other, people are saying, oh, just get the Elgato Wavelink software or download this software. Funny enough, it's still in beta, but OBS can make it where you can capture, like if I wanted to capture a browser source, let's say you don't have a mixer like myself, right? Let's say you don't have any mixing whatsoever and you only have OBS. If I clicked on application audio, right? and I like, let's say I name it browser. All I gotta do, whatever window I have opened up, this is important, by the way, the program has to be opened. So Discord, Opera, because that's my internet I use. Literally, if I click on Opera right now, it'll say match title, otherwise find window of same type. That's the one you want to have. Click OK. So now it's capturing my browser. What you're hearing right now is the same thing that OBS is capturing in this one. And then you can adjust the volume as you see fit. And you can adjust it with either in OBS or on the program. So if you had Spotify, right? You open up Spotify, start playing something on there, it'll do the exact same thing. So there you go. Now you can do that, you know? Too easy, right? Too easy. I got all the drivers slash plugged in, and it still goes DN. It doesn't register. That does. Is the product itself registered? I don't think it has a product. No, it doesn't have a product activation. I'm telling you right now, it's got to be a AverMedia program. If you go to the software, that's what I would do. Also, keep in mind that you don't want to use the default sound from the settings, or you still can't split it. Yeah, and like that. Thank you for bringing that up, DJ. Obviously, when you add another source of audio, 90% of the time, not for everybody. Hey, not for everybody. 90% of the time, everyone's gonna have the same desktop audio. 90%. What I mean by that is the default is just gonna be your Windows sound. That's all the default is. It's whatever audio is going through your PC, right? If I change this up, because I have a mixture, it's going to show a lot of different things, and I want to really let you know, like, what I see right now is what you won't see, because I have a Go XLR mixer. If I wanted to add the browser source, right? Like, let's go ahead and re-add it. So browser, add, or no, not a browser source, you dingus. Application audio capture, and we'll keep it the same name. So let's say Opera. Okay, so now it's going to come in here, right? You'll notice that it's not going through the desktop audio, which is also going to be going to your stream, right? So we have to correct that ourselves. And the way you do that is you go over to audio, and you'll notice when I click on this, right? You have music, you have your Realtek, and everything else. The thing about this is that when you separate the audios, you need to understand that they will be able to hear what this is playing. But you have to be able to, you got to make sure that you don't want things like overlapping too much. So if I have music playing from Opera, but I set it for Opera, right? Well, if I go and watch a YouTube video and it's still playing the music, you're going to hear double. Stream's going to hear double, which is blatantly obvious in my brain, but I'm trying to break this down as easy as possible, right? That's how you would separate it, though. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope it does. I'm trying to get better at explaining things, but, you know, it has its moments. And, you know, if you're streaming, like, when it comes to, you know, Twitch and everything, and there's something that you don't want on your VOD track, like, it could be, I don't know, maybe you're playing Beat Saber or, like, something like that. Or maybe you don't want to risk getting, you know, the whole copyright and everything striked, right? If you go over to, like, let's say it's anything on my Opera, right? If I go over to Advanced Properties, you're going to notice where it says tracks over here. Okay. This is very important. This is very important. So application audio capture is my browser. Literally. If I go to my settings, go to audio, or not audio, excuse me, outputs, then audio. No, it's right here. Now, granted, this is just for Twitch. Okay. That's why it says Twitch VOD track. If you click this on, and then I make it track 2 and click apply. Now when I'm streaming from Twitch, I go over here to advanced audio properties. I make sure that it's the top one, which it is. and I unclick the first track. What that's going to do is you will be able to hear it in stream, but when people watch the VOD, the past broadcast, they won't be able to hear it. So, fruitful thought. You know, it took me a long time to figure out like how simple this was. It's literally that simple. So yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Like, you know, good stuff in the back. When you don't have a Go XLR, we'll say mixers in general, you can't switch channels off and on. It will always come from desktop audio. When you like to split it without Go XLR, you need to add from audio from every. Exactly. Yeah. And so if you don't have like a physical mixing board, then it does make life a little bit more challenging. I highly recommend it, but if you're not able to, this would be the best way to do it. And like lowering the volume either through the application, Spotify, Epidemic Sound, that's what I use. It's whatever, you know, it's whatever you use for your music. But that's how you would do the, that's how you do the tracks and everything. If you see me going back in and like resetting things, it's because, like I said, I'm trying to keep everything to where, you know, I haven't really messed with it. But does anybody have any more questions? Because I've gone over a lot. And if I'm going too quickly, please let me know. I'm trying to go at a steady pace so I don't lose anybody along the way when it comes to explaining this. And also, I hope you learned something from this. Like I said, slap a like button. You know, if you want to see more OBS classes, I enjoy this personally. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. I geek about it. I've had hundreds of hours. I've been doing this since 2019 and I'm still learning. That's the one thing that I always tell people is no matter how much you know, there's always room for improvement. It doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter what field it could be. It could be foraging, it could be crafting, it could be diamond art, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Roshi, welcome on in. Banana. Great to see you. How we feeling? How we doing? I have a Go XLR, but I use it to adjust the sound for only me. And that's the thing. It doesn't mess with on-stream sounds. So, and that's fine. The only reason I have it set for me to like whatever I hear, stream hears the exact same volume is so I know that like stream isn't getting blared, but that's why you also have the audio mixer, right? Which we can talk about. Can we talk about this real quick? I'm gonna make me real small. We're gonna talk about this. Like, I'm gonna like stretch this out. This is the only thing you need to look at. You see where the music's at right now? I'm telling you this so you don't blare people's eardrums when you stream. Okay? This is actually really important. This is also part of the basics of OBS. When you play music on your streams, the idea is to have your music between, and this is a personal thing. This is a personal opinion of mine that I've noticed. I like to have my music ranging from 40 decibels to roughly like 30. If I want to go like, you know, party mode and everything, I'll make it go to 25, but I always make sure that my voice is like the thing that like is hitting the right decibel. And as you can see with my microphone, 15. 15 is the money spot. Doesn't matter. I've talked to multiple streamers about this. I've gotten their input. I would love to bring other streamers onto these OBS classes as well. I think it would be really cool to get their perspective and be like, oh, hey, am I like, do you do this as well? You know, because that way, like I said, we're all learning this together. This is not just me saying, I know all the things. Boopity boopity boopity. No, that's not true whatsoever. I have my audio mixer horizontal. Yeah, and that's the thing. You customized it so it works for you. I used to go horizontal, but I went vertical because it takes up less space. And I did that talking to one of my friends. Tired and my shoulder hurts, but okay otherwise. I'm sorry to hear that, Roche. I hope you get better. Thirsty Tara, welcome on in. How are you doing? Appreciate you stopping by the live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I didn't learn anything yet, but it's nice to have the refresher. Okay. So as something that... Okay, how about this? How about this, chat? Ask me something that you, like, think would be possible in OBS, but you don't know how to do it. And I know that's a very... I know that's a very broad thing to ask, but like, I'm being serious. Like, think about it. What is something that you would want to add to your content? What is something you would want to add to your content that you just don't think would be possible? Right? Like, what is, like, and it could literally be anything. Because what I've learned from over the years of doing this, it's like that channel point I have on my Twitch channel, the elevator scene. The elevator scene actually took us, or it took me like 2 days and a lot of timing. Along with OBS, I would like, in these classes, I would like to steer off to some other programs that you can utilize with OBS, but that's not going to be until way later down the road. Thank you. I need this info and excited to be here. No worries, Thirsty Tarot. I'm just very appreciative that, I will say the Madhouse family, which is our community, not just on Twitch, but YouTube and everywhere, you all have pushed me, and like on all the platforms and just in general, you told me that, you know, yes, there is OBS classes out there and tutorials all over the internet. There is, right? I'm not the only one. By far, I'm not. But you have pushed me to like do this. So thank you for giving me the self-confidence to be able to do this, because for the longest time I was like, yeah, but other people are doing it. I kept saying that, but you could say the same thing about streaming. It's the exact same thing. So thank you for believing in me and wanting to learn from my perspective, you know? Plus, I like to have fun with it, you know, make weird things. I want to interact with animations, queuing on OBS. Are you talking about with channel points? Or are you talking about stinger transitions? You'll have to be a little bit more specific, but I might be able to help you. Again, that sounds like something I could do later on. I just want to start with the basics for this classes. That's fair. Mine's horizontal because I use one of my side monitors and it allows, exactly because of the way you have your setup of my audio sources at a time, but I like the vertical when I'm not using a side monitor. That's what I'm saying. It's all about placement and like how you have your monitor set up. I mean, everyone's different. I've seen an Awkward Monsters stream. When I went to her setup, she had a tiny little monitor that's like stacked up like right here, and it blew my mind. I've never seen that before, but that's what she uses, but it works for her, right? We all have our own unique way of like things. The question is now, do y'all want to see my OBS? Like, do you want to... And it's things that we can talk about in the future. That's why I want to show it. It's not showing off per se. It's not. I just want you to see what I have, so I can, so it gives you an insight what to expect in future live streams on the channel. You know, it kind of gives that like insight, like you've been here during this whole stream and everything. I think it'd be kind of cool, you know, to show you. Right now, I cannot display my new follower. That's alerts. Okay, so would you want me to show you how to do alerts? Because that does involve OBS. If that's up to you. Is that even a question to see my OBS? We could do that, but I definitely want to answer Thirsty Tarot's question, because that's alerts in general, and it depends on what you use. Do you use Stream Elements? Do you use Streamlabs? Like, what do you use? Let's start with there, right? Because that does matter. I can only show you Stream Elements because that's what I use, and that's what I recommend using as well. Even though, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, I love you, Stream Elements. I love you. When your servers go down, it is frustrating. We've all been there. It happens, you know, with the bot and even with alerts and everything else. Things happen. Please, the alert does not show the name of the person. You're using the alert, but it doesn't show the name of the... It's probably cropped out. I guarantee you that's what it is, Thirsty Tarot. All right, we're going to Stream Elements. Give me a sec, chat. I got to make sure I'm not showing any SI information, which stands for sensitive info. Stream Elements. Let me go to mine real quick. Let's see what we got here. Let's make an alert. Just for tutorial purposes, let's just make an alert. Okay. So if you don't already know, I'm not going to go through them all because I don't want y'all to see certain things, right? So this is Stream Elements. Yeah. This is the website. I'm going to full screen it. So if you go to streaming tools and you go to the drop down, you click on overlays. These are the overlays that you make, right? So let's click on new overlay. So we want it to be 1080p or whatever your base canvas is resolution, which we can go over that if anyone has any questions. Please just let me know. I can do it in the next class, right? So this is like basic. We're going to call this tutorial. Actually, we'll just name this class alerts, right? So I'm going to add a widget and it's going to be alerts and then alert box. Okay. Now, as you can see, it has host still. You can't host channels anymore. I know. Stream Elements still has it. Don't know why. You also have purchase alerts. If you have merged through Stream Elements, that's what it will go to. Charity campaign donation alerts, if you need those. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck these just for the tutorial purpose. We're just going to do follower since Thirsty Tarot's having follower, like, you know, it not showing up. If you click on the cogwheel, this is going to be we're going to use basic animations, like basic. I'm going to turn down the volume all the way because I don't want to hear it, right? I don't like, I'll turn it up a little bit because, yeah, because we got to go through the whole process. So this is your video. You can change the video to whatever you want. You can set it to an image, right? I'm just going to leave these as is. Right? You can play with it. It's just going to show up your Windows Explorer, your file Explorer, which has your pictures, your videos, and all that, you know, fun jazz. Upload sound, same thing. Whatever sound you want to play, go for it. Be cautious because of DMCA, but other than that, have fun with it. How you want it laid out? You could have no image, you could have an image and then shows up to the right, or like a majority of people have, you can have the image and then the text right down below. So for this, blank name is following, right? So whoever follows, it has these brackets because that is Stream Elements using a code right there. That's actually using like, I think it's no, it's not JavaScript. It's its own like brain. I can't think. Brain's not functioning, but you're telling Stream Elements like bracket name bracket. Whoever follows you on Twitch, it allows Stream Elements to pull that name from Twitch as soon as they hit that follow button, right? So we'll call this, I'm going to change this up. We'll keep it, blank name, shield bashed the follow button. Bottom, no, button. Learn how to spell, MVK. HTML, yeah, it's the HTML, thank you. Alert duration, sure, 10 seconds, why not? We can also go to variation settings if you want to add different variations to your follower alerts, which I think would be cool. I've thought about doing that for my channel. There's obviously TTS, which is text to speech. Definitely decrease the volume, right? And like 30%. I would say 30% is a rough good number. Play around with it. Maybe your sound system is set up different, you know, whatever. Choose your voice, all that stuff. We're not going to use TTS. That's fine. Text settings, you can literally customize the font that the text show up in. Sure. We'll change it to, I don't know, something that pops out a little bit, something that's unique. Sure. Notable because it's noticeable. Get it? Pun intended? No, that was terrible. No. All right. You can change the size of the font to whatever you want. I want it to be bold, size 30. That's fine. We're going to click save button. You always have to click the save button on the top right corner. Otherwise, it will not save the changes that you made. Doesn't matter how small the change is. You always have to press that. You have animation settings. You can actually have your alert. Like, imagine, like, instead of just the alert, like, fading in and then fading out, wouldn't it be cool if, like, you had some fancy dancy stuff happen with it too, you know? Got rid of Stream Elements completely, changed it up to mix it up. Yeah, and that's fine, you know, whatever works for you. So there's going to be subsections of the series for, yes, not mix it up. I don't use mix it up. So I don't feel comfortable teaching a class on a program that I myself haven't utilized, nor will I act like I know what I'm talking about using that program. I might download Mix It Up and talk to someone that is very proficient in it just so I can teach it. I personally do not like Mix It Up. It is the basic version of what I use, which is StreamerBot. StreamerBot is like the advanced version. Mix It Up's like, okay, you know, easy peasy lemon squeezy. StreamerBot has coding and a whole bunch of jazz to it that is for someone that's been doing this for a while that wants to advance even further. I like StreamerBot also because Mix It Up, don't get mad at me. I don't like Mix It Up because I've seen so many of my friends utilize that program and they had so many problems with it. I'm not saying StreamerBot hasn't, but not as much. Not nearly as much. I like StreamerBot. It works for me. It has everything that I need it to do. It's just better. Like it's for me, you know? Choose something that works for you. That's a part of the class as well. Choose a program and whatever you implement into OBS and all the things for you. Do not listen to me or anyone else. Like, I'll give you advice, I'll give you tips, but listen to yourself because ultimately this is your content. This is your channel. This is your whole shebang, right? And whatever makes sense in your brain might not make sense in my brain and vice versa. That's why I wanted to do this class. That's why this class is different from all those YouTube videos you see on this platform, is because this kind of gives you the broad of everything, right? I show you something and then you turn into something else. Hey, that'd be great. Maybe we'll even make a thing where maybe I'll make a separate Discord server and it's called, I don't know, OBS Class reacts or something. And y'all can upload like images of your OBS, your overlays, what you've learned from this class. This is something that I have been trying to do for years, but I never had the courage to do it. And now we're actually implementing everything. So thank you again for giving me the courage to do this. So enter animation, sure. I don't like the bounce in. The fade in is cleaner. That's why you see a lot of people using it. Rotate. Oh God. I did call it, zoom in, roll in. Let's do a slide. So it slides up and then it'll slide back down. That's what the alert's gonna do. So it's gonna slide in up and then it's gonna slide out down. That's a clean, yeah, sure, let's go with that. You can set a delay for text appearance, like how long it takes for it to go. We're not gonna mess with it. Like I said, like do what you want with it, you know? Text animations, with the wording, since it is going up, I'm just gonna copy it. I want everything to slide up. Actually, let's do this. It's gonna slide up and then it'll slide in to the right. And then when it goes down, it's gonna slide down with it. That actually would be really clean. Let's do that. Yeah, slide out down. That's cool. Duration, let's make it, I don't know, 3. We can test this, click save. Let's see how this looks. Follower. Actually, I'm gonna mute sounds just in case. Ooh! Smooth as a baby's bottom. I like that. It sticks out. That's nice. I really like that, actually. That's not bad at all. And then it'll slide down. But I set it to 3 seconds. Did you see how long it took? I don't want it to take that long, so 1.5. And then the exiting part, we'll make it 1. It'll be like a snap. Snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies. We're gonna alert. Thank you. I love your face. DJ, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So after the alert goes off, the recent follower names, I do not seem to know how to display their name to stay on screen. Well, you see that through... Okay. Oh, thirsty. I see what's happening here. You have to use Twitch activity feed, my friend. That's how, like, you'll see our alerts go off on stream, and I can, like, go down the list. You need your Twitch activity feed up, so you can see your most recent follows, raids, bits, subs, all that stuff. Is that what you need? Is it not the alert? Either way, hey, you get like free stuff for alerts, you know? Because I thought it was this. And after you're done with everything, by the way, all you gotta do is click save, click copy, overlay URL. Yeah, I got you. It's all good. Don't worry about it, my friend. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to OBS. And I'm gonna make another scene because we now know what scene nesting is. We're gonna call this alerts. I want to call this, actually, I'm going to do what DJ said. NS for nested scene alerts. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on browser. We're going to call this alert box. We're going to copy the link. The very important thing that you need to know about this, chat, is you have to get the same size. So we have to click on position and size and style and copy the width and the height. So all I'm going to do is copy and paste using Control C. All right. Or you can right click, you know, same difference, you know, copy. We're going to go back to OBS. Going to put that right here. Paste. We're going to do the same thing for the height. So height, copy, Control C, and then go back to OBS, paste. Now with this one, we can control the audio alert. So it says control audio via OBS, meaning that we can control how loud our alert is with OBS. Now that I'm going to leave up to you. So if the alert is too loud, whatever sound you uploaded from Stream Elements, you can either A, go to Stream Elements and turn it down, or B, for tutorial purposes, I'll turn that on, and you can control it within OBS. Custom frame rate, we don't need. If you don't know coding, don't worry about custom CSS. That is all coding. You don't need to worry about that. Shut down source when not visible. With alerts, that one, usually I'm a very proactive person saying yes, shut down source when it's not visible. But since it's alerts, we're not going to click that, right? Refresh browser when scene becomes active. No, we don't need to do that either. That's fine. And then we're going to make sure that everything's set. Click OK. All right. So I'm going to put my alert box and I'm going to put it right dead center. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to Stream Elements. Okay. We're going to put it in a little box down here. Okay. No, don't do that. Just so y'all can see what happens, right? So there's our OBS. I got the browser in. Let's go ahead and emulate a follower alert. Follow. Okay. See, it shows the name. You have to make sure the position and size is the same because this box, that box that we like made this in, you see how it has the height and everything? You'll notice that it's placed on the top left corner. Now, one thing I have noticed about Stream Elements that I do want to add in this video is for some reason, if you don't have it on the top left corner, it will not show. For some reason, I don't know why that's a thing, but like with alerts, like it's very finicky. I can't say indefinite. Comment down below on the video. If I'm wrong, great. Constructive criticism, all for it. But what I've noticed with the alert box is like I've had to like move mine around and readjust it for sizing purposes, but the default, just leave it. Don't touch it. If you want to resize your alert box, you can hold shift and like stretch it, which stretching your sources kind of makes it like look bad. I don't recommend doing it, but you know, figure it out, you know, whatever works for you. That was creepy as fuck. Wait, what happened? That song is playing and you were dead in sync with it? What song? Wait, are you talking about the song I'm playing in the background right now, the lo-fi? Interesting. Wow, my timing's on point. I can help too if needed, but has used it longer. I'm still newer, but I know a lot. I've also never heard of StreamerBot. We'll do a class on StreamerBot. It has to do with OBS as well. So after the alert goes off, you know how streams display the recent subs or followers or donos on the frame of their scene? That's the alerts. So Thirsty Tarot, what you're asking is what I just made. This is the alert box. So like if I was streaming on Twitch and I go to my cam scene, right? Let's go ahead and add our scene. Alert scene. Okay, it's gonna show up in a giant box like this, right? Let me go back to Stream Elements for you. Let me show you something. If I emulate it, right? That's how you get the show. And then from there, I can just move the box around. And then I can hold Alt on your keyboard. And I can do this, right? The only thing I'll say about cropping down the sides, some people have very long Twitch names. Be very careful about that because you don't want to crop out their Twitch name, right? So you just keep hitting emulate. And you can just like crop this down. And then you can expand it. Boom. We have a new follower. Done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's how you do it. And always make sure your alerts are at the top. Sources, like, the one basic thing I didn't talk about today, and make sure you lock your sources as well, because you don't want to have like this. Make sure you're locking your sources into place. Because when you're messing around with other things, you don't want to move other things, and then you're like, oh, now I got to fix 5 things when I just wanted to add 1. When it comes to sources, watch. If I put my Elgato facecam over alerts, right? Whatever's at the top, imagine like this is like layers. Like ogres have layers, onions have layers. You get the picture? Does that make sense to you? So the top one is going to show on top of everything else. The bottom one is the background, right? So for example, my camera is the background. So I want that to be at the bottom, right? Everything else can be above it. You know, like if I wanted to add, what is it? Text. Hi, everyone. Love you. Or wait. Love you. If I add this as a source, right? But I put this below my camera, you don't see it. Right? So if I want the text to show, it has to be above the background being my camera. Does that make sense? That's how you display it. How do I then make the info stay in the frame? You wouldn't. You don't want your alert. So Thirsty Tarot, you don't want your alert staying in the frame because you're gonna have other followers. Like, are you talking about like the bottom? Oh, you're talking about an overlay. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about, you know, those like names that show up here and they are like the top right here. And like, it'll be like new follower and it switches the name and it stays like that. Is that what you're talking about? We can make that. That's what you're talking about. You're not just talking about the alert. You're talking about a header. Or like, so back in 2019, you saw a lot of streamers doing this, right? A lot, like everybody was doing it. Honestly, let's be for real. Where it would show like over here, it would show your follower, your newest follower in like a frame and a border around it in a box. Then it would show new subscriber. It would show like tip, dono, whatever you want to call it. It would show like a header like that. And then whoever just followed would update the name. That's what you're talking about, right? MVK, what's up? They don't want the alert. They want the name to stay up there without the extra pizzazz. Like you see a lot. Oh, okay. My bad. So we need to like scrap this project. I apologize for not understanding what you were trying to tell me. That one's on me. Because in my brain, I was like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? But now I understand what I have to do. All right. Let's go ahead and dive back into Stream Elements. We're gonna have fun with this one. Instead of doing it, let me do this. Instead of doing it like the old school style, we're gonna make our own custom. We're gonna have oh yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited, chat. Oh, I'm excited. All right. So we're gonna click on new overlay. We're gonna click on 1080p. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, I'm excited. All right. So if you see right here, you still have the alert box, right? Then you have engagement, you have labels. You're talking about labels. Here's the difference between an alert box and a label. An alert box is alerting you that you just got a new follower. A label is something that is going to be forever there, right? So you go to follower, you can choose latest, total, and all time, or your follower goal. You're wanting the latest follower, right? Like the latest follower or most recent, like you're wanting like the most recent follower that just followed your channel and you want it to stay up there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So like I said, click on add widget, go to labels, followers, latest, recent, or latest. I don't know how that works actually. Comment down below this video. Because your latest follower is going to be your most recent. We're just going to stick with recent because we want it to be that. Okay, so my most recent followers. Oh, it's showing 2. That's weird. Nani? Maybe that's the difference. Ooh, now I'm learning. Okay. They've updated this latest. Okay, so you want latest follower. Remember that, latest follower. I corrected myself. But instead of it saying latest follower, let's like really like customize this because we don't want to be basic. We want to be content creator. We want to create something unique. What I would put is I don't know, like you could put like you could stick with just follower, like follower, right? Or you could just have their name, whatever you want. Me, I would put like, I don't know, if you have something for your community. So ours is the Madhouse family. So I'd be like, newest, is newest a word? Sure. Newest heathen. It is a word. Why am I questioning this? All right, don't worry about it. We're gonna go to text settings. I want to make this pop. That works actually. Beautiful. Do we want to change the color, chat? White, I like. So size, that looks good. Let's see. We want it centered. Bold. Yeah. What if I go with normal? Normal looks cleaner. We're gonna go with normal. Text stroke is going to be like if we wanted to like add like a color going around the border. Not really gonna. I'm gonna make it black. I'm gonna make that black. Text shadow, that's fine. We can have the text scrolling, right? You're very welcome. That's why we have these classes. Hey, winners, welcome on in. How we feeling? How we doing? The newest delinquent. Oh my god. Do you want me to? I can't do it. How are you doing, winners? Thank you for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Sorry, ADHD brain reminded me mid cutting strawberries. No worries. The song from Moana. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's what you was talking about. Custom docs. You want to talk about that too? This will probably be the last thing I could do for today's class. So, Thirsty Tarot, if you want it scrolling, I think scrolling would be kind of cool, you know, instead of static. The other thing we could do with scrolling is we can actually change the speed. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Hit save. We're gonna call this follower label, because that's what it is. Save. Sweet. So that's what it's gonna look like. It's slower, looks clean. I'm actually gonna change. I like this. Doesn't show the semicolons. Maybe it's because I gotta space it out. You don't really need the semicolons, but like it makes it kind of pop. It's interesting that it doesn't show semicolons. Oh well, that's fine. I wonder if I could do like a bracket. Ooh, let's do that. Ooh, I like that actually. Put a bracket around the name, kind of makes it pop a little bit more. Dynamic font size, we don't need that. Okay, so everything is ready for us to move over to OBS, right? So we're gonna do the same thing. Click save, copy, you know, the overlay URL. All right. Then I'm gonna put this in the bottom left-hand side. So just to make sure if I need to adjust anything. Gonna minimize this. So what we're gonna add, now this is a browser source, okay? We're gonna call this follower label. Okay, now we gotta do the exact same thing. Anytime you mess with stream elements, you gotta make sure that the size and everything. Christy, welcome on in! I am doing the OBS stream. A promise is a promise. Oh gosh, dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Come here, you dingus. Alright, so we gotta make sure right here that the position and size and style is the same, right? So it's on auto right now. Oh, we don't even have to mess with that. It's on auto. When did that become a thing? See, I'm learning, chat. I want to see if this actually works and how it looks. Okay. So we got the follower. There it is. Got to give it a sec. Look at that. Look at that. And we can make it as big as we want. Now, that's the one thing I would mention is we would probably have to change the size because you see how it looks blurry? I'm going to make this. I'm actually going to mess with the size. I want to do something. Let's make it. Actually, no, let's mess with the font. That's what we need to do. So the font is at 24. Let's actually make it 75. Yeah, I want it to be 75. I have my reasons. So it should be good right there in placement. I'm going to click save. See how that looks. It should update itself. I might have to refresh the browser. Sometimes you have to do that. Refresh current cache. I want to see how this looks. Oh, that's nice. Me likey. And then we could like lower it down a little bit. You gonna show? This perfect. This is perfect. Finally, I can add this to my stream. Thank you. You're welcome. Look at that. Oh, it's because I had the text speed so slow. My bad. Okay, maybe 3 is a little bit too slow, chat. Let's go with let me actually make it 6. It might. Yeah, that's. I was like, wait a minute. And anytime you update it in Stream Elements, this is gonna take a little bit to refresh. You can turn off the eyeball, which is the visibility, turn it back on. Sometimes that works, but using browser sources, it's gonna take a little bit longer for it to connect. So sometimes you have to refresh the cache. Which actually I would set something like this to refresh browser when scene becomes active. Maybe, I don't know, figure it out. Like I said, you know, whatever you want. But is this what you wanted, Thirsty Terra? I'm glad I could help you. That's what I'm here to do. I'm at work just stopping in to razzle you for a bit. I appreciate it, winners. I hope you're having a great day at work. Thank you. So yeah, there you go. Newest heathen was box of, I can't, wait, what is that? Box of monkeys 12. It's like a barrel of monkeys, but I guess that was already taken on Twitch. So that's how you would add it. There you go. So today, in this video, like I said, we have gone over scene transitions. We've gone over scene nesting. We've gone over audio. You know, like what you should have your microphone at, how to add application audio from certain applications being Spotify, via Spotify, maybe it's your browser if you're using Epidemic Sound, whatever you use for your non-DMCA, you know, music, right? Or copyright free music. That's what I meant to say. But thank y'all again for stopping by. Like I said, I would love to do these classes on a weekly basis at Thursday from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 4 p.m. Roughly a 2-hour. I know this one was like a different time. I don't know. We might do like 2. I don't know what I'll do actually. I'll let you know. How about this? Actually, you know what? This is what I'll do for Thursday. This actually works better for, yeah. It'll be 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Roughly a 2-hour stream, I feel like is something that I can manage, and it's not gonna make me feel overbearing. Next week's video will not be uploaded because I will be traveling on the Madhouse Man's Voyage, where I'm traveling the United States, meeting up with the community. Please, like I said before, I do stream on twitch.tv. Be sure to, it'll be in the description down below. Shield bash that follow button. It would really mean a lot. We are trying to hit a very big milestone, and thank you again for you know, us hitting YouTube partner. That's a really big thing. So thank you again. Like I said, I hope that this is a different type of class / tutorial that you're getting. It's live streamed and we're hitting all the things, right? I feel like this has a certain uniqueness about it. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this as much as I have. But before we head out, can y'all do something for me? There is something I need your help with. So obviously on YouTube streams, you can't like raid out and everything. I am going to do a shout out to my brother. His name is The Reluctant Hermit. He is doing a Forge stream, and I'm going to put the link in chat right now. It should link it to him. If y'all could go over there and say hello, that would really mean a lot, right? He has been very consistent. I haven't been because I've been traveling, but more to come during winter with OBS classes. Like I said, we'll be doing this every Thursday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. 2-hour class, and it will be saved. I'll make a playlist. It's going to be on OBS tutorials. Feel free to go look at the playlist and other videos on this channel. I love your faces, and thank you so much for supporting. And as always, till I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you press the like button, subscribe, and share this with your friends. I hope that, you know, that we can learn together and we're in this together.